Hello fellas, it was 19 degrees here this morning and it's warming up now. It's probably in the 20s, and I live right where Iowa meets South Dakota meets Nebraska. I live within 25 miles from there, and so I got my winter coat on this morning, although it's probably a little more of a comfort than a necessity. But I want to feed the wood stove, and I'll probably have to start my tractor and get some wood a little closer to the wood stove, because it feels like the old winter is a-coming. You can see we got ice in the bottom of the wheelbarrow. My coffee I set in there. Let's see what we got going on in the wood stove here. I fed it last night in the afternoon. The temperature is down to 141, which usually means, oh yeah, the wood is gone. So we better stir up the coals there and get some more wood in there. This is a little Bobcat tractor, and I think Bobcat sells them, but I think they're really a Kioti or a Coyote tractor, almost everything based on them. It's a CT 2025, and I've got about 55 or 60 hours on it. I just did the break-in oil change about a month ago at 50 hours with a little Kubota rock box on the back of it that was left over from my last tractor. This is about I think a 23 horse tractor, and it's been a good outfit for me. I haven't had any problems. The only thing that within 5 or 10 hours of having it, the third function, a little third function valve that's up here and in here, somewhere underneath there, it had an O-ring leaking, and they came and fixed it for free. And then the other thing is, with this stout grapple on here, this is not, it's kind of it's not a hardcore grapple. You wouldn't want to put this on a skid loader because you'd probably bend it up or break it. But on this tractor, it does okay, because I don't have enough power to break anything. But that stout grapple, I think, might weigh 500-600 pounds or more, somewhere in there, and it's probably a hair too heavy for this tractor, but it does fine because it's heavy enough I can't break it. But this, if you can see right here, this hydraulic hose, I believe it was, on both sides, both of them, in the last year and a half, really in the last 6 months, I've busted both those hoses. They just bulge out and go bad. But I think it was 30 or 40 bucks a piece to have a new hose made and replace it with heavier 4,000 pound hydraulic line, because I think the ones that came on it were 3,000 pound, something like that. But otherwise I haven't had any trouble with it. And so I'm going to fire it up, and then I just gently run into my wood pile and scoop up the wood and put it closer to the wood stove. And I'll put like a week to a week and a half, or 2 weeks if I can get it, that much wood closer to the wood stove, so that way it's so much easier and more convenient for me to feed the wood stove throughout the winter. And I could put it in a wheelbarrow. I did that for years and carry it over there and all this and that, but this is the lazy man's way of doing it, so I don't have to touch the wood any more than I got to. The wheelbarrow thing's fine, but I just kind of wore out on it. How are you guys doing? I hope you're drinking your coffee this morning. I'm drinking mine. I got it plenty strong. Let's fire the tractor up. I've noticed as I get older, I make a lot more grunting and groaning when I do stuff. Sometimes you don't even realize it. Tractor's got to be in neutral. Turn the key, click it forward, then you can see the glow plugs cycling. Let them have a little bit of time, and then start her up and let her warm up. So after I get my pile over here, I just take and chuck some wood in there. Nothing scientific about it. There's no way to really ruin it or do it wrong. There's a big log, not huge, but apparently I never bothered to split that one. This is walnut. There was this spring there was a wealthy, very wealthy, successful farmer that on the edge of the little town, he had about 3 or 4 acres of ground extra that he wanted to farm that had trees on it, and he had come in there, either him or he hired somebody with must have been a big chainsaw, because some of it was big, and knocked it all down and piled it all up, and a fair amount of it was walnut. And I called him to see if a guy could cut some wood out of there. It was already cut down. There's no cleanup, no dropping trees. And he said sure. And I was worried if he would be concerned, you know, that I'd hurt myself with the chainsaw, because a lot of people are worried about liability nowadays. And he just said, go do your thing and get what you want out of there, because I'm going to farm it, he said, and don't hurt yourself. So I got 3 dump trailer loads of wood out of there, and a lot of it, like right here, that's not a huge piece. I bet this is 40 or 50 pounds somewhere in there. I should have split it a little smaller, but for a wood boiler, it don't matter to me as long as I don't bang my fingers putting it in there. Oh, but there was some ash I got out, walnut, and I'm sure there was some maple in there. I don't know, but that's where I got a lot of my wood this year. I was getting some dump trailer loads out of there. I got 3 or 4 of them, I guess. It's not a lot, but it helped me. Here's a big piece. We'll put that one in later. Well, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. She's smoking good. Kind of pretty.